So if you're going to adapt that, and there was an adaptation, a film adaptation of Lord of the Rings, Ralph Bakshi, of all people, Chris the Cat guy. Do you remember his adaptation? And it was pretty bad. It was hard for him to work out the battles, and you have these monsters and stuff. If I'm a studio and I get the rights to Harry Potter, you better adapt that novel so that the fans are happy and my millions of dollars are going to be nice and safe, secure, so that the novel, the characters are loyal and faithful to the original material, and that the adaptation is successful. So, like, good luck, and of course, like with my Mars novel, we'd like to sell this too. So we'd like to sell it to any kind of studios, pick up deals. And I want to talk too about how you could take your novels and with the new digital media. And what am I looking at here, Tom? So I'm good.
Yeah, you.
When I was writing for Tom, we have so much more information about the actual truth about what's on Mars, which is like nothing, rocks, hardly any atmosphere, stuff like that. Research that the writing is much different. James Cameron and Google have invested in telescopes to analyze local planetary objects like Jupiter for the potential of like 400 years from now of harvesting things like that.
I said, well, yes, you can.
They're still doing great, but you have to you want to go through an agent or an agency. You send samples. They get a lot of them. Many of them they don't want to look at. It takes time for them to look at them. And so, it can take you a year even to get an answer from Random House and, tour books or Cameron books. So I told him, I said, yes, go ahead. Submit to the big companies. Many books, self-publishing is very successful. John Grisham's first novels were self-published. For about $800, $500. I can get a box of 100 copies of very excellent quality, paperback or hardback, of my book and pass it out. So it's always a distribution connection. And the answer would be yes, but it's slow.
The other question I had was more about the rights, in a way, of the writer, of the novel writer. Let's say if somebody loved the idea of one of your novel, and it was more a concept than even just the characters, and it sort of took, I'm not saying that I'm going to do this, okay?
Please do, yeah.
It's sort of concept. Where is it that the production company then is liable to give you a fee for your work, your ideas? Where is the fine line between essentially taking just a couple of ideas and actually ripping off somebody's work?
Yeah. You sound like somebody who's doing some writing, yes?
A little bit,
yeah. In English, yes?
Yeah, in English.
The writers, it's something you really have to learn if you want to write and make money. Like, there was a writer in Hollywood, most writers you never even know who they are, and you're not supposed to. It's like the guy his name was Ryan Pearson, and he did the original novel. It was really just the idea of a movie called Temperature Rising, or Mercury Rising. Mercury Rising, and his name was Ryan Pearson, and it was a pitch. And somebody in Hollywood liked it, and they put him in a hotel in Santa Monica or something for about like 3, 4, 6 months, and gave him like a lot of money, like $1 million from when he talked to me, because they liked the idea. It was, an autistic kid can interpret a government codes, and so they're chasing him around and all this. So that, the first rule of a writer is like copyright and secure everything you can right away, immediately. Even ideas, the WGA and some of the other unions you'd be glad to copyright it for a few bucks. My wife and I wrote really like 80 kids books for a company in Belgium, Iowa Entertainment. And we were paid like $100 over 2 years for each one of those kids' books. And we got the rights back, but at one point that company sent us a letter, and they said, we want you to sign away, internal rights for everything. And I said, no. And I had a manager and an agent, and so you get where like they paid us, but like I'm also hired, like Tom Long, now going global with the artwork. you know, he paid me, so he owns it. But we have an arrangement where I get, you know, and also like if you're paid to write, you know, somebody will pay you to write things that like, you know, so you have to be very careful. And if you have something, so the rule is that it's a commodity, it's a value, copyright it, and don't let people cheat you out of your hard work. You know?